Hello, my amazing artists, and welcome back. Today we are going to be working on our skills of making lines. We are going to be making these gorgeous contour lines that create a sunset. Let's take a look at the materials we're going to need to complete this fantastic work of art. In your art packet, you will find a stack of paper that have a paper clip on it. There's a big blue paper, a square yellow paper, some strips of green paper, and lots of strips of colorful paper. From home, you're going to need scissors and either a glue bottle or a glue stick. All right, boys and girls, what you're going to do first is please take these papers off and keep them inside the paper clip. Set them off to the side. On your blue paper, the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to create the mountains. From your stack of papers, take out, you can take the yellow and the green paper, that's fine with me. But we're going to start with our green papers to make our different mountains. These papers, boys and girls, see how they go from side to side of our blue paper? This is going to be one of our mountains. Let's go ahead and make the different hills for our mountain. How I like to do this is take both my hands, which are my best tools, and rip my paper, move my fingers, rip my paper, move my fingers, rip, ooh, that's a valley, rip, and I can rip in lots of different directions, boys and girls. But the key is I rip a little bit and then I move my hands down on the paper. I keep my fingers close to where I want my paper to rip. Awesome, I've got my first mountain. Let's make another one. This one maybe I'll make a little bit smoother. Ooh, I need to move my fingers. I almost forgot, boys and girls. Notice how the paper that I rip off is much smaller than the paper that I'm going to leave on my paper. That's because I was able to control where I ripped by moving my fingers. I actually want as little of the paper to be wasted as possible. So make your rubbish piece a bit smaller than the piece you're going to keep. You may even be able to use these for some little trees if you'd like for later. So set them off to the side and we can try and make something creative with those in the end. Okay, boys and girls, now the next thing that we are going to do is glue down our mountains at the bottom. But it's a bit tricky because I want to start with this one, but if I were to glue this one on top, uh-oh, all of my beautiful mountains got covered up. So what I'm going to do first is glue down my dark green one about as long as my fingers away from the bottom of the paper. Let's take our glue stick. Ooh, let's use liquid glue today, actually. You can use either one, but I'm going to show you how we need to prepare our glue onto our paper. On the back of your paper, make sure you draw a snake of glue around the outside of our shape. We don't want the glue to look like a big blob. Then, take your paper, line it up with the sides of your paper, and put it down. Okay, let's do our next green. I'm going to use the medium green next. Again, a snake of glue is all we need to keep our paper down. Make sure you cover up that straight bottom of the dark green paper. We don't want to see the mystery of that straight line. Last one. Your papers should all line up to the side. Now, boys and girls, you'll notice that I have some extra blue paper down here. That's okay. Later, after my mountains dry, I can cut that part off. No problem. All right, I have my mountains glued down, and the next thing is I'm going to go ahead and create my sun. With my piece of yellow paper, there are two ways that I can create a circle. The first way is I can draw a circle as big as my paper and cut around the edge. But there's another way I'd like to show you as well. What I do is I take my paper, fold it in half. Then, boys and girls, what I do is I take a pencil, and on the side that is folded like the book binding side, I start and draw a rainbow. Make your rainbow as big as the other side of the paper. Then, while my paper is still folded, I start to cut the circle. Then, when I open it up, I have my circle sun. Now, boys and girls, if you accidentally draw your circle on the wrong side, you may have two half circles that come out. If you have two half circles, that's okay. Just glue them down on your paper next to each other. Boys and girls, you're welcome to make your sun in any place on your paper, but I think I'm going to make mine in the middle. A snake of glue, and wherever you'd like your sun to be. Awesome! Now we're ready, boys and girls, to use our colorful strips of paper to create these dash lines around the edge of our sun. You've got lots of fun colors, but let's take a look at which ones we should use and maybe decide where we should use them. So you should have orange, pink, red, purple, and blue strips. I like to start with the warmest color first, so that's going to be orange. For the strip, I want you to do the same thing that you did for your mountains, which is to take and rip and place. What you can do as well is glue them as you go. I like to make sure that the ripped parts are next to each other like neighbors. Or, boys and girls, you can rip, place, and see how many you need. Then you can glue them after you've placed them. One thing I like to do when I'm working with this is I make my finger a little bit sticky so that I can take my paper, put it down, and pick them up super easy. Your fingers may already be a little bit sticky from the other pieces of paper we've glued down. Again, boys and girls, you're welcome to use either stick glue or liquid glue today. It's up to you, whatever you have at home. I am making sure, though, boys and girls, to make my dash lines close to each other. Now, boys and girls, I have enough orange that I could do another layer of orange, but if you'd like, you can move on to your next color. You can choose to do as many layers of those colors as you'd like, as you have multiple strips of the colors in your pack. So after orange, I'm going to go ahead and move on to pink next. Okay, boys and girls, I'm on to my blue strip. I've put down some dots of glue and now I'm ripping and placing as I go. But boys and girls, I'm running into trouble. I'm all the way at the edge. I can't even place a dot of glue here for the next strip. I know what I have to do. I need to jump across until I get to the other side of my paper to continue going. That's the thing, boys and girls. If you run into your mountains or run into the edge of your paper, jump to keep going around in the circle, ripping and placing as you go. You'll notice too, boys and girls, that some of my purple papers are falling off the edge. That's okay. After my paper is dry, I can always take my scissors and snip off the edge. Something that can help, boys and girls, is looking on the back of your paper to see where those papers are peeking out, and then just snipping off the little edges. One more thing you can do, boys and girls, is down at the bottom, you can do some trees, you can do a little house in the mountains. If you want, add as many details as you'd like. But remember, boys and girls, your lines should cover all the way to the edge of your paper. Take a look at this one. It even has little ones here on the edge. Okay, boys and girls, I'd love to see your finished contour dash lines around your circle sun. All right, boys and girls, have fun.